now as we look at this week's edition of Raw, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including WWE's plan has backfired in a major way, Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins get robbed, is Pat McAfee done with WWE, the long-term plans for Bron Breakker, WWE turning a new star heel, a WWE star is not actually injured, a legend claims that she won't be at Evolution, a cameraman can't handle PENTA's aura, and much more. Now, as always, we won't recap the show, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good is number 1, LA Knight's revenge. Now, LA Knight isn't a superstar to mess with. That was the message last night as Knight, fresh off a shellacking at the hands of Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker, laid out Seth Rollins on Raw. Booking Knight into a feud against Seth Rollins is actually a smart move to capitalize on Knight's popularity without him being in the title picture. As long as WWE paints Knight as a credible threat and not a Sami Zayn style punching bag, then this could work out very well. Number 2, PENTA main events. And was PENTA a WWE main eventer? While his booking suggests otherwise, there's no question WWE is giving one half of the Lucha Brothers more opportunities, and judging from the fans' reactions, PENTA could become the fresh face WWE needs for top programs. Number 3, Roman Reigns tease. Last night's Paul Heyman promo covered all the bases, including Heyman outlining Seth Rollins' list of targets, a shrewd way to remind fans who the heels are feuding with, while also writing off Roman Reigns. Naturally, Paul's accusations that Roman is too scared to return means fans can look forward to the OTC showing up very soon. Heyman said that Seth Rollins is the biggest box office attraction this industry has ever seen. Well, he said the same thing about Roman about 2 years ago. Number 4, solid matches all night. Banger after banger. Cliched, but true nonetheless, as Raw delivered a string of solid matches from start to finish, forwarding the storyline of Seth Rollins and his crew's dominance, Bayley and Laura Valkyria's rivalry over their quest to win the Intercontinental Championship, and the never-ending backstage drama that is the Judgment Day. We also got to shout out meme-worthy AJ Styles. Knowing that this is his last run, he looks to be having fun in it. And have we got a better El Grande now? Now, who really is El Grande Americano? It's a WWE mystery worth of a cartoon crossover with Scooby-Doo, but which sadly TKO is probably already plotting if they think they can make a few bucks from it. But just when fans were certain America's greatest luchador was Chad Gable, who is unfortunately shelved due to an injury, El Grande still shows up, looking better than ever. While El Grande looks a lot different, as oddly enough he's grown taller and is much leaner, it's fun watching WWE continue with the mystery. Whether they can keep the momentum during Gable's absence remains to be seen, but as long as WWE doesn't go surreal and have everyone from Ron Killings to Rusev playing the luchador, this might be interesting. But that was a good what about the bad is number 1, Goldberg gets gassed. Or was the WWE Universe invested in Goldberg vs Gunther? Well, we won't know the answer until the ratings for the match this Saturday come in, but so far WWE doesn't seem confident in Goldberg's ability to get over. Now, while there are some fans interested in seeing Goldberg have his last match against Gunther, the booking for Goldberg vs Gunther has been weak, with fans noticing that Goldberg hasn't been painted as an underdog, and it seems strange that Gunther is actually afraid of him. But the worst situation is Gunther getting gassed over a punch. Him just getting ready for the spear almost burnt him out entirely. How is he gonna fare in a match this Saturday? Number 2, Seth is killing Bron and Bronson. And what is Seth Rollins doing to elevate Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed? The initial pairing of these two behemoths seemed like a great way to rocket them into the main event scene, but so far both wrestlers are coming off like AOP when Akam and Razar became Seth Rollins' muscle. Regrettably, there's been no sign that Breakker and Reed will fare any better. Thus far, Breakker and Reed's roles have been a step down from their previous work, as Breakker's gone from a dominant Intercontinental Champion to a stooge, while Reed's only role is to pop the crowd with multiple tsunamis on his Victim of the Week. And number 3, Too Little Too Late. Raw featured some last minute hype for Evolution, which only reinforced the idea that this is a hastily thrown together show with only one purpose: to spoil AEW's All-In PLE this Sunday. While Evolution is shaping up to be a strong card on paper, even breaking the regular Triple H formula of including 7 matches instead of 5, as well as booking 5 title bouts, the WWE's failure to promote it as a huge attraction, which is when you consider it's been 7 years since WWE ran the first show, tells you all you need to know about WWE's PLE structure. It's an absolute mess right now. There was nothing downright ugly. Raw featured a string of solid matches, but was it enough to get fans invested in this week's doubleheader of Saturday night's main event and Evolution? What'd you guys think of the Red Brand last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Now first story looks at WWE's plan backfires in a major way. At top of today's news is a report that TKO Group Holdings' efforts to sabotage AEW's All-In pay-per-view by scheduling 3 shows the same weekend has backfired in a huge way. TKO tweeted a graphic of all the shows of WWE, UFC and others it's running this week, only for fans to hijack the tweet all about All Elite Wrestling's All-In pay-per-view, with many mentioning that they're missing Evolution for this stacked card instead. One fan commented, "We would all care if he wasn't counter-programming." Anyway, onto an exciting pay-per-view, AEW All in Texas. Now, while counter-programming rival promotion shows is a time and tested practice by WWE, some fans feel WWE, which has booked Saturday night's main event, Evolution, and the Great American Bash the same weekend as All In, has gone overboard and that they'd rather watch a loaded All In than a poorly promoted Evolution PLE. Not to mention Saturday night's main event, which only has 3 matches booked at this point, and one match where 2 wrestlers aren't even feuding. Next up, wrestler safety gets even worse. Now, we've recently heard many reports of creepy wrestling fans actually stalking wrestlers, even showing up to their home on the porch with a loaded pellet gun. This was a case for Liv Morgan only a few weeks ago. While charges have been brought against the stalker, and he's currently awaiting trial, Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch weren't so fortunate. TMZ reported a Southern California beach house belonging to Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch was burglarized on Tuesday morning. The police told TMZ the WWE Superstars Playa del Rey pad was hit around 3 a.m. just hours after Lynch and Rollins performed at the Amica Mutual Pavilion in Providence, Rhode Island for Monday Night Raw. They mentioned that the police say that the suspects busted through the home's rear slide-in and stole cash from the property. Luckily, no one was inside at the time of the break-in. Now, whether this has been a fan or not has not been confirmed, but at least the good news was that nobody was home at the time and nobody was in immediate danger. Next up is Pat McAfee done with WWE. Where's Raw color commentator Pat McAfee been? Last night's Raw was the 5th week McAfee has missed, leading to musings of his whereabouts. Pat dropped the deets on his talk show saying, "I will not be commentating. Continue to just kinda catch up on life as a whole. You know, post Money in the Bank, pre-Night of Champions, feels like a good time. I was getting pretty exhausted there, so shout out to everybody in WWE looking out for me too. Very, very thankful." Now, whilst it seems that McAfee isn't done entirely with WWE, the schedule is so intense that it's understandable that he needs a break away from programming. So far, WWE seems fine working around Pat's other business deals and feels his presence is worth it even if it's not on a regular basis. Next up, top talent written off Raw. That's bad news for Sami Zayn fans, as it looks like he'll be off WWE TV indefinitely due to 2 brutal attacks on Raw. Now, in case you missed it, Karrion Kross pummeled Sami with a pipe before Zayn's match against Bron Breakker, with Kross targeting Sami's taped ribs. Things didn't get any better for Sami during his matches against Bron Breakker as Breakker speared him twice. It was then announced by Paul Heyman later in the show that Sami was out of action indefinitely. As of right now, there's currently no word on how long he'll be out for, as Zayn's popularity with WWE makes him the ideal wrestler to take a beating to draw heat on a heel, which is why Sami is frequently the victim of various heinous attacks. But what is the plan for Bron Breakker? Now, is Bron Breakker turning on Seth Rollins? Well, that's a report coming from Bodyslam.net's Viper, who states that there are long-term plans for the second-gen superstar to part ways with Rollins. While the turn is said to be way off, WWE is reportedly already laying the groundwork for the turn. As far as we're concerned, this can't happen soon enough as Bron is stuck in the mud carrying Seth Rollins. Next up, WWE turning a new star heel. Now, add current NXT superstar Blake Monroe, aka former AEW Women's Champion Mariah May, to the list of wrestlers headed for a turn. Fightful Select is reporting that Monroe, who makes her NXT in-ring debut at this weekend's Great American Bash, where she'll team with Jordan Grace against Fatal Influence of JC Jane and Fallon Henley. The report notes, "We haven't heard specifically when it would happen, but it was brought up for the near future." Now, another question regarding Blake is how long she'll work on NXT before getting called up to the main roster. Next up, Karrion Kross's popularity reaches new heights. Now, is WWE sitting on a goldmine with Karrion Kross? New footage on X suggests that Kross's popularity shows no signs of lessening up as fans mobbed him after Raw, as Inside the Ropes is reporting footage after WWE Raw suggests that Karrion Kross has a lot of goodwill with the fans. The star was seen exiting the arena after the show and was greeted by a wave of fans who would not let him leave. He obliged the fans and greeted them with autographs, handshakes, and some celebrations. Kross's mastery of social media has allowed him to build a strong and vocal fan base, many who feel WWE is wasting a valuable resource by keeping him on the sidelines. Thankfully, Kross has been featured more, including his Night of Champions match against Sami Zayn, and if WWE signs him, as Kross's contract is believed to expire soon, they have a go-to talent ready for an opportunity at the very top. Indeed, Karrion's ability to rally fans, despite him playing a heel, was largely responsible for him working Night of Champions. The two-time NXT champion told Foundation Radio how fans all over the world are the reason why I was on Night of Champions. This is something I was told about last minute. This is not something that was in the works. I want people to know that they made that happen. They gave me the time that I really have wanted for years now to be able to go out there, tell a story on television, and then blow the match off in a PLE. Are you guys a fan of Karrion Kross, and what would you like to see him do next? Next up, a WWE star is not injured. A former NXT UK champion Tyler Bate isn't actually hurt. While Dave Meltzer recently speculated that Tyler and Pete Dunne are injured, Tyler took to Instagram noting, "Not injured, waiting." Now, it's common for WWE talent to sit on the sidelines for months as WWE prepares for what it feels is the right storyline, so the idea of Tyler biding his time makes sense. Next up, a WWE legend claims she won't be at Evolution. A WWE Evolution's Battle Royal has fans buzzing about which legends will actually appear on the show. However, WWE icon Victoria claims that she won't be one of them, telling fans on Instagram, "I'm not going to be at Evolution. I didn't get booked, my back is kind of funky, I'll be honest with you." Now, we are a little bit skeptical considering how many times wrestlers have claimed that they can't compete in an event only to show up. Next up, a cameraman can't handle PENTA's aura. Now, there's something special about Luchador PENTA, as seen by the WWE Universe quickly adopting him as a fan favorite. However, is PENTA's aura so powerful that even the WWE camera crew can't even cope with it? Well, fans tuning into PENTA's entrance on Raw noticed the camera operators seemingly spellbound during PENTA's entrance, with Inside the Ropes reporting, "On the Red Brand, there seemed to be a bit of a stumble while he made his entry. The cameraman botched the frame showcasing PENTA, the Pyro, and his name on the Titantron. It was then cut to another camera showing the ramp from a distance. It really seemed like the cameraman just almost fell over. Maybe he was just in awe of what he was seeing." And finally, Paul Heyman's new nickname. And last but not least, WWE manager Paul Heyman has been called many things, several of which we probably can't say here, including Brock Lesnar's advocate and Roman Reigns' wise man. But now fans can add the Oracle to the list, as the WWE Hall of Famer is now being called the Oracle, a reflection of his new role guiding Seth Rollins, Bron Breakker, and Bronson Reed.